The first thing I want you to do is to look at the picture. Can you show me the picture?
Your clicker's
Oh,
down there.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Now, I want you to come on this picture, see, and see what you can see yourself in the picture. Okay. Can you see yourself in the picture? What strikes you about the picture?
He's stuck.
Huh?
He's stuck.
It's like, what else do you see?
He's
He looks frustrated.
Huh?
He looks upset.
She's naked and vulnerable.
Making vulnerable and anything else? You see that picture?
he's trying to fight back, scream.
Anybody else comment? This is a projective test.
He can't really see the bigger context of where he is. It's all cloudy,
Okay.
smoky or cloudy.
Now, how many of you see yourself in that picture? Only two, huh? Three. Anybody else? Four. And I hope that at the end of the lecture, you will see, everybody will see themselves in the picture. Now, let me tell you why, okay? Everybody want to move from point A to point B, right? I mean, everybody has some dreams, some hope of a better future. I mean, let's take for granted. If you do not want to be better tomorrow than today, or next year today, then there's something wrong with you. Everybody, the natural desire is to be better. That's why you come here to learn this thing. Hopefully, you'll be a better person. You'll achieve a better future. I mean, that's taken for granted, okay? But the problem is that from A to B, often we got stuck, okay? Got stuck. So stuckness is part of the human condition. So that's why I say, you come here and find out what stands between you and your success is you. And what helps you to move forward is also you. You know why? Because if you're not aware of the human condition of which you're part of it, and then you get stuck there and you scream for help and nobody listens, you feel all isolated, all by yourself, you feel vulnerable, you feel naked, and you feel trapped, you feel wired in a quagmire. There's no way out. So, in many sense, this is a picture of the human condition, of our existential aloneness. Deep down, we're all alone. Maybe your wife, your husband can understand you. Your best friend can understand you. You know why? Because deep down, we are an individual. Also, deep down, we are free to look at the dark side of our soul. We are free of our own shadow. We are free to discover the character defects in us. So this blindness, the blind spot about not knowing our vulnerability, our dark side, can create problems for us in relating to people. We'll mention that later on. Okay? And also you can see that he is trapped in not a marshland, but in a barren, dry land. There again, a picture reflecting the human need, the basic dissatisfaction and discontent with ourselves, with life, this crying need for something that can satisfy us, but we don't know what. I remember Jesus met a woman at a well. You know, the woman said, I can't get water. Jesus said, I'm the living water. If you drink from me, you'll never be thirsty again. So there is, in all of us, there's kind of spiritual thirst and hunger. So Jessica and I look for a picture to capture the essence of human condition. We look for a long time. Finally, we all got great. This is a good one, right? So what this picture represents all of us. Now if you sit here, okay, your lack of awareness of the human condition can prevent you from moving forward. At the same time, your awareness of who you are as a member of the human species, your awareness of the common fate of humanity, of the human condition, that awareness, you call it self-awareness. I always emphasize self-awareness. That self-knowledge, that awareness actually is the foundation for you to move forward. You see? So that is a double-edged sword, cut both ways, right? You can get stuck because you're not aware of the human condition you're in. And you can move forward, but become aware of this gloomy picture of the human condition. I will explain to you how that works, okay? But basically, I'm proposing a hypothesis that self-awareness, self-knowledge is the beginning of wisdom for living a meaningful life. That's my hypothesis, okay? Now, this is another picture of, this is a famous picture called Scream by Van Gogh. And that is a famous picture about human being reaching out for God. And that is in pain. He is all alone on the cliff. Okay, so this is again different ways of portraying the essence of human condition. I read the answer already, right? The biggest obstacle between you and your dream is you. More precisely, your lack of awareness of your weaknesses, of your dark side, and you're unaware, you lack awareness of the human condition. So that's the hindrance, okay? People seeking enlightenment, seeking insight. It all has to do with understanding yourself, but you can't understand yourself without understanding, first of all, you are part of the human condition. Most of the people come to seek therapy. Can you? Let me get closer to friend. Most of the people seeking therapy is because they feel stuck. Okay. They really feel mired in quagmire, and the more they struggle, and the deeper they sunk. Okay. And they can't get out. Okay. And also, they stay constant because they feel lost. The guy can walk in circles in forests and couldn't find his way out. And that's pretty frustrating, pretty scary. Night comes. Wild animal may come out to devour you, but you can't find a way out. You keep on going in circles, never move forward. You waste all your energy. That's scary, right? So you need some kind of direction for move forward. That's why we emphasize purpose as well in here. Right? Now, here is another human condition. Can you relate to that? Can you relate to that? Now, do we need routine? Do we need routines? Do you think routine helpful? Sure. What's your name?
Catherine.
Huh?
Catherine.
Catherine, thank you. We all need routine to organize our lives, right? even you are self-employed or retired, you still need some routine. To give some organization of your daily life. Right? But the problem of routine is that if you blindly follow routine, you begin to feel bored, right? You feel that day in, day out, the same thing repeating itself, like a track in time warp. Like every day the same. This movie, what they call that movie is every day the same, right?
Groundhog Day?
Groundhog Day, every day Groundhog Day. Hey, my friend. Hey, you know what Groundhog Day is, right? Every day the same. I mean, how do you break through this time warp? You got caught, okay? Now, one of my sister-in-law, she met my brother. Last time we had dinner together, she said, I'm unemployed. I said, what do you mean by unemployed? She said, my kids are grown up now, they don't need me anymore. My husband take care of himself. He doesn't need me. So I'm unemployed. I have a job. And every day, I play golf, and I eat, I meet friends. Every day is a happy day. 很快乐啊，每天很快乐啊，快乐过日子。But every day is happy. I always find something happy to do. But I feel that there's no meaning in my life. It's interesting. I mean, I didn't talk about me. She talked about herself. She said, I feel there's something missing in my life. My co-friend, my neighbor is also a rich immigrant from Hong Kong. Every day, tennis, golf, go to restaurant, play mahjong. You know how to play mahjong? 就怕过日子，来过日子的 spend a day 啊，过日子啊，快快乐乐过日子 ，spend every day happy, okay? But eventually she had to find some job, just to keep his sanity. So routine is helpful, but routine can kill you if you don't see beyond the routine. If you don't know how to inject some creativity, some playfulness in routine. I mean, it can really make you feel like a zombie, yeah, day in, day out. Oh, here's Mary. Oh, can you relate to that? Can you relate to that? What the solution? What is the solution for get stuck in a miserable marriage? What's the solution?
Take a lover.
Huh?
Take a lover.
Take a lover.
Take a lover.
Oh, you're very advanced. Eh? How many lovers do you have?
I can't count them all.
Now, here's the news, okay? Here's the news. I heard the latest Canada census. The biggest jump in divorce rate of which age group? Guess.
50 to 65.
Retired.
Well,
Yeah.
55 up.
People that are over 70 is 40% jump.
Wow.
Oh, this is old case, Still say, oh, that's for sure, I gotta find a better woman or better man before I die, So, 70 is not too late, okay? So they get divorced, and they go to meet-up groups. they go to the singles bar or Facebook or online dating. It's very interesting that I mean, in the old days, divorce is like my father was real bad, womanizing. My mother had tolerated everything. She just couldn't think about, we urged her to divorce her father. She refused. She said, I don't want divorce for the children's sake, the children can have parents. That's the old days. So nowadays, they think that divorce is the only solution. Some cases it is, but in most cases it's not. Okay? And one of the one of the main cause of marital conflict is each person tries to transform the other person according to his or her image. Now, here's the trick, okay? Here's the trick. Think about the first slide, the human condition. Okay? Think about your spouse as part of the human condition. Okay? Or your boyfriend, girlfriend. Now, you think that way that we're all in the same boat. We're all miserable creatures got stuck in a barren land. We all have our dark sides that we are afraid other people see. We can cover up. The Adam and Eve, remember? You didn't cover the front or cover the bottom. Right? So this picture, we all have a dark side, but sometimes when you see the fault of your spouse, you're projecting your own fears about yourself to the other person. You cannot accept. Remember we talked about acceptance last time. The acceptance is key. You cannot accept yourself, then you cannot accept your spouse. You do not love yourself. If you hate yourself, then you hate your spouse. That's why the Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself, right? This psychology is the same thing. If you cannot love yourself, can accept yourself, you're not qualified to get married. This is scary, right? I mean, if you cannot accept yourself, cannot live with yourself, then you all your frustration and anger with yourself is all you're the husband or wife and scapegoat. So this marital problem, it can be partially resolved, but understand that both of you are on the same boat. Both of you have a dark side. Both of you have unfulfilled needs. Both of you have the character defects that you don't see yourself, but you see another person. So that's why you have proper understanding of the human condition can go a long way helping you to understand your spouse. Now here, this guy, this woman, by the way, gets stuck in the office, There isn't a place of work, there's no politics, okay? Everywhere there's politics. Everywhere there's some undesirable people to work with, to work for. The bad boss syndrome. Most employees complain about their boss. I hope Jessica doesn't complain about me. It's very, it got me very nervous now. Most employees have something bad to say about their boss. Okay? That's a fact, okay?